the worst.
Anyway.
No, I did love that first nurse, though. I thought she was amazing. But
she was
just
awesome.
the thought that he thinks he's going to be chatting on the laptop tomorrow.
We're talking about our friend who's on Facebook, and there's a picture of him in bed, and he's doing one of these, and his nurse is there going, like this, and he goes, hey, he goes, you know, I probably won't be able to talk to you till tomorrow because I'm having a triple bypass. Now, I was going to say something, but Erin brought up a good point. We'll keep believe that that's going to happen. I had open heart surgery, and I think day 3, day 2, I kept reaching for my laptop and putting it in front of me and just going like this, drooling.
Yeah,
never making it happen.
You're not going to be in the shape. I don't care how much you love social media.
Oh my
you're
gosh.
not checking in with anything.
Yeah, it's like you don't have any idea what you're about to happen to your body.
I lied to Todd completely about it. I said, this is an in and out. You're going to be fine.
Yeah.
What possible benefit is there to terrorizing a potential patient like, this is going to suck so much that you will never, ever forget this for the rest of your life? What possible benefit does that give you?
Erin said, we'll just do an outpatient thing. You go in and go home.
Yeah, but you slept the night before, right?
Oh, my gosh.
See, it all worked out.
Oh, my gosh. Of course.
I'm so excited about the Avengers. I can hardly stand it. I knew it'd be great.
All right, but before that.
Oh, okay.
It's spring in Utah.
This is true.
It looks okay, but in the avenues, this is what you got.
It's the end of April. It's the end of April. Oh, you know what I love about April? You know what I love about April? I love the fact that the trees are green. I love the tulips and the flowers that are out. I love the green grass. The pine trees majestically standing up on the hillside overlooking Salt Lake City and the beautiful countryside beyond. The maples, they are green. Even the holly is green. The ornamental grasses are starting to become green. It's just such a green spring day. Notice I haven't mentioned the friggin' snow. Damn snow. Damn snow. Let's come over here. Get rid of that. Look. Spring.
Yeah, see,
It's the
and
end
that
of
was
April.
early this
It's
morning.
the
You were
end
still in bed.
I was about to say,
April.
when did you take that? Because it was sticking. We had about an inch on the ground when I
On
left.
the grass, and it's snowing like a dog.
Yeah, because Mother Nature hates us all. Let's just be honest
All
about
right,
it,
go
shall
ahead. Avengers, go.
I'm so excited, Avengers Infinity War. Now, we told you last weekend that it was going to break all the box office records. Not only did it break them here in the States, it broke them internationally. Okay, now the last big one was Star Wars: Force Awakens. That was $248 million for its opening weekend here in the United States. Avengers Infinity Wars earned $258 million for its opening weekend.
Don't take
awesome.
the fact that I'm just over here on my computer like I don't care.
You don't care, but I do.
I don't care.
Biggest worldwide opening. Now, this was pretty cool. $640 million. That's $100 million more than the previous record holder.
There you go.
This is just incredible to me. Did you know that the previous record holder internationally was The Fate of the Furious?
No, tell me more.
No, internationally, though. I thought that was amazing. You know, it's funny because I was talking to a bunch of people online about it, and we were all in mourning because Loki had been killed.
Oh, seriously. Did you just go there? Seriously, did you just go there? Who are you? What have you just done? Just sit there and be quiet for once. Hi there. Hey, listen, I just wanted to apologize for what just happened. If there's any way you could just forget. You hide your face. Forget. Okay. That's my ninja mind skills right there. Okay, let's just move on.
I don't think there's anyone who's ever going to speak to me again.
What the hell?
That just popped out. I
can't even go on like this anymore.
Oh, don't shun me. Come on. I am so sorry. I honestly don't know what I just did. I am so sorry. I would kill anyone who did a spoiler on me. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to... Okay. You're probably watching this later anyway. I'm going to put up a massive spoiler warning on the show today just so you know how hard I suck as a human being. And ideally you... will talk to me eventually one other. I'm really sorry for anyone watching this live.
On Facebook.
I will put up a huge warning. I will put up a huge warning about spoilers before we.
If you're watching on demand.
Yeah, which most people do.
Don't say that about my wife.
I'm so sorry.
You can't say that though. Yeah, and that's
I am
fine.
so sorry. I feel like the worst human being in the world. Well, I am essentially the worst human being in the world. You want to talk about the Sushi-EAZY?
Yeah, Sushi-EAZY.
I think you should, because
My friend Dan, well, it's explained here. Dan is watching, and he wants to see how it worked out. So back into the kitchen I go. Here you go. Hey, what are you doing here? Welcome to another edition of, Hey, what are you doing in my kitchen? Huh? Today we are making sushi. My friend Doug, his beautiful wife, adorable daughter, gave me a challenge. I said, well, I've already made sushi once, and I'm not that great at it. You know, why not let the pros do it? And he said, why don't you use the thing we like to call Sushi-EAZY? Say it with me, Sushi-EAZY. Now, what's so cool about this is the fact that it comes with this. It's a bazooka of sushi. Does this make you uncomfortable? It should. Let's see what we got here, shall we? All right, so Sushi-EAZY, making it easy for you to make sushi at home. Today, one of the special offerings will be imitation crab. Should be spelled with a K, shouldn't it? It's gluten-free. Let's see what else is going on here. A blend of Alaskan pollock and king crab. I did mention gluten-free, and they even color it so it looks like the leg style, as you can see, the leg style, which is great. On the back, nutritional stuff. Don't need. This is the delicious, fully cooked, and safe to eat seafood. That's what I'm talking about. So we're going to do that. Cucumber, kind of a California thing with fake crab. Carrots, cucumber, and fake crab. Let's put it together. The instructions say half a cup of rice in each side. This is a sushi rice that I made. Okay. Yes, you know.
Apology right now on Facebook. I suck as a human being. Yeah, I know.
Back to the sushi thing.
Okay.
First of all, that's the first half. How will it turn out? Nail biter, cliffhanger. I don't know. I do, but you don't. So we're going to do that. Weber Canyon. Did you apologize for the spoiler?
That's what I'm doing right now. Talk about Weaver Canyon and stop shunning me. I already feel shunned. I know. I'm so sorry. I know. I'm sorry. TJ goes, no one caught it. I'm like, thanks, TJ.
Yeah.
Keep going.
The Todd Show. Weber Canyon. If you've ever had a family cabin, if you ever have, we had one. You know how dear they are to you. You know that it's like, it's the place where all the memories happen. It's really good. And a lady...
And then, when you go in for that first moment, you know, when you're going in spring, you're opening it up, and you open up all the windows, get out the dusty smell, and check and make sure everything's working, and maybe the snow didn't take down part of the gutter system or whatever.
Wake up the guy in the recliner who's drinking wine.
What?
And then, you know, then
Wait, what?
Summer begins.
Wait, what?
Traditionally,
that part doesn't happen to us.
There used to be a guy, a couple years back, and he had a nickname. We're going to call him Jerkface. And what he did was he went and he was in all the cabins during the wintertime. He'd break in, he'd eat their food, he'd get their guns, and then he'd go to the next cabin, and they actually have pictures of him. Some of the places had alarms and stuff. I
remember this story.
And a picture of him walking by, has 3 rifles with him, and the police was giving him fits because he was up on snowshoes and stuff. And you go ahead and try to track someone in regular shoes, you're not going to do it. Anyway, he went up for months and months and months and months, and they were driving him crazy. And then he moved down south and kept doing it down there, and they finally caught him. And it was like, 18, 20 cabins broken into, bunch of stuff stolen. He ate all their food. And here's this guy in the Weber Canyon just kind of sitting there. Well, they did arrest him They arrested him and took him into custody. And Thomas Luke Shoop, you should know better, Mister.
He doesn't look very guilty about it at all.
Don't break into cabins.
He doesn't look that guilty. I gotta be honest with you.
All right, you have.
All right, I'm going to use a couple of swear words in this, and I think that you will understand.
Oh,
when you
spoiler
hear
alert! Go ahead.
Really? Is this going to happen all day now?
Really?
Give me a little callback for you all
so?
day long.
The largest movie in history coming out, and boom, you drop the thing. It's okay. Move on. I still love you.
No, you don't.
Almost as much.
Okay.
Who's the cat?
This is hysterical. Mr. Biggles. I think
Mr. What?
Mr. Biggles. I
Biggles.
do believe that we have a headshot of Mr. Biggles.
Oh, there he is.
According to the
Good-looking
adoption
cat.
agency wanting to find him a home, he is a nightmare. This is according to pet adoption agency Cat People of Melbourne, located in, as you would imagine, Melbourne, Australia. And they posted this memo about Lord Bigglesworth on their website this week.
I always see these, and they they talk about how cool they are.
Good with kids, and
doesn't
dogs.
Doesn't poop on the floor.
Yeah, well, it's very, very funny. So the founder, Gina Brett, was the one who wrote the ad, and I guess they write a new one and feet a new pet each week. Like, hey, pet of the week, come adopt. Yeah. And this is practically a dare to adopt this cat.
That's what?
She wrote, Mr. Biggles is a despot and a dictator. He will let you know when he's not happy, which is often because things are just not up to his high standards. Mr. Biggles likes his cuddles on his terms and will sit in his lap, your lap, when he decides it's time. If the stroking is not up to his standards, he will bite you. The agency said, this particular feline is not for the faint-hearted, but he would be perfect for the right owner. He's described as the spawn of Satan, but he loves sleeping on the end of humans' beds. In his cat bed, he snores just a little. It's really cute. And he loves to be out in the backyard stalking chickens and supervising the gardening. He's just over 2 years old, adheres to a stupidly healthy diet, and has a pretty nice life. But he needs a permanent home. Mr. Biggles is currently sunning himself in my backyard and eyeballing the chickens with a view to murder. This morning he played with the dog and didn't draw blood this time, so that was good, and then savaged my brother who tried to cuddle him. To be fair, I did warn my brother.
Right.
This is apparently the most shared profile that they've ever put
up
in the
I would
adoption
imagine.
agency. But my personal favorite is they say, so if you feel like you could adopt this utter bastard of a cat, Mr. Biggles is waiting for you.
I don't think I could close my eyes.
I know you'd wake up and you'd be sitting on your chest going,
Mr. Biggles, don't hurt me.
That face, though, he looks like he would be that way. He really does. He's really alarming.
All right, Daisy's not here today. You're doing information and news and sponsored by
I haven't, that's how I...
Fink and McGregor. Mortgages made simple 4-minute test right there on the front page. Boom, they're going to get back to you the next working day with some solutions for you. Also, Brio Technologies, if you've got a presentation your company is making and you want the sparkle, you want the glitz, these are the people you need to go and see. And also, the New Millennium Group. If you have no idea what to do with your money, where to put it, where should it be? Is burying in the backyard the right choice? No, they'll help you out. All right, let's get some news.
All right, Daisy's on vacation in England. She's going to be sending us a very exciting video of all the cool stuff she's doing. In the meantime, it's up to me, so here's what's making news on Monday, April 30th, here on GephartDaily.com. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is reassigning more than 24 volunteers who are working in Turkey due to growing safety concerns. According to a church statement, the volunteers are being moved due to a growing political unrest in Turkey and throughout the region. A total of 33 volunteers are temporarily assigned to posts in Europe, Asia, and North America. The church says it will continue to monitor conditions in the region to ensure safety of its workers, volunteers, and its missionaries. Meanwhile, police have identified the victim of a deadly motorcycle accident in Taylorsville Saturday night. Investigators say 30-year-old West Valley resident Sean Garrett lost control of his motorcycle shortly after 8:30 p.m. while turning off Bangerter Highway onto 5400 South. Witnesses told police speed appeared to be the factor in the single vehicle crash. Garrett, who was not wearing a helmet, was pronounced dead at the scene. Firefighters in West Valley City had their hands full Sunday afternoon after a fire broke out at a home at 3540 South and 3425 West at about 12:30 p.m. Fire crews had just started putting water on the blaze when a large water main then ruptured in front of the home. The water main break caused the street to buckle and then forced crews to scramble to keep their fire truck from being damaged. Despite the soggy setback, 25 firefighters finally managed to bring the fire under control. Damage to the house is estimated around $80,000. Time now for a look at Wasatch Front weather. It's brought to you by Brio Technologies, Utah's premier audiovisual specialist.
Or you could just cry.
And by our shining new sponsors at Magic Wash, home of the long-lasting ceramic car wash. Outlets in South Ogden and a brand new facility on Antelope Drive in Layton. Big changes in the forecast this week. We see a return to winter along the Wasatch Front. Thank you, Mother Nature. We'll see both rain and Monday today, with highs struggling to reach the 50s. Now, Tuesday, tomorrow, we dry out a little tiny bit with highs in the 60s. But then come Wednesday, we have another bout of soggy weather with temperatures dipping back into the 50s. Now, on the bright side, sunshine and warmer weather hoped for by the weekend. That's it for now. For more news and weather, just go 24/7 to getpardaily.com.
You know, everybody's out there ugly crying right now.
Oh, jeez.
They are. Hey, Millennium Financial, we were telling you about that. You know, a lot of people, it's like you're dealing with like maybe even Social Security. Maybe you're trying to make a plan. Maybe there's education plans for your kids, and you need to know what to do, when to do it, and how fast to do it. And these people are the people who kind of get your stuff all together and say, here's a plan or here's another plan. Which way do you want to go? And they set it all up for you. So if you need some information along that lines, and who doesn't, Millennium Financial are the people to go see. All right, I want to talk about the Tell Me Something Good story.
It's pretty amazing. You have it, or do you want me to do it?
I will.
Okay, I think this is pretty This is pretty noble. Anyone who's a carjacker we know is probably not a great person.
Okay, first of all,
traditionally they're not making good choices. They're making seriously bad, stupid, terrible choices.
I will say that it is assault. You know.
I did not know that.
The person,
this is true, though.
person is grabbed and thrown out of the car, dragged out of the car, with intent to steal something, but you never know. So. Yeah.
I have hope, though, for Francisco Esmeralda, and I'll tell you why. He's 23. He was accused of stealing a car outside of a motel near Salt Lake City International Airport. This was on Monday, right?
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't alone. And this is something when the car's driver had gone back inside the motel to register, she left her 12-year-old son in the back seat.
No.
Esmeralda apparently pulled onto I-80 and then afterwards got the attention of a police officer to surrender and return the child. Esmeralda said he was trying to get away, but he didn't specify from what, so I'm guessing drugs, maybe.
Something.
But once he realized the 12-year-old was in the back seat and frightened and crying, he immediately stopped, went over to the side of the road, and flagged down a police officer. Now, this to me is pretty amazing.
It
now,
is.
This guy's been charged with everything: first-degree felony kidnapping, second-degree felony theft of a motor vehicle, third-degree violation of probation. But here's the thing. This man could have done anything. He could have stopped the car and gone running. He could have just thrown the 12-year-old out. He could have done anything. He actually stopped and flagged down an officer and gave him surrender to make sure that child would be safe. Now, to me, this is a guy who can be saved, and that to me is the part that's telling me something good.
Yeah.
This is a man who can be redeemed. I believe that.
Good for the family.
Don't you think?
Yeah. A kidnapping charge is huge, by the way.
I know, but he did not see the child. He did not intend to do this.
I know.
And when he found out, he instantly made it right.
Made bad decisions, and all of a sudden he went, I can't be responsible for this.
Exactly.
All right,
so that to me gives me hope.
All right, Christopher Giveaway. We
have something different today. Are you ready for it?
I want you to listen to this, because this is scary good.
All right. Christopher's Prime Steakhouse. We talk about them all the time. You know they're spectacular. Did you know that there is Christopher's Prime Catering? They can cater all of your stuff, your buffets, your big picnics, your company parties, all these amazing things, your weddings. And it's not just steak. They can do any kind of style of food you want. However, Christopher's Prime Catering is going to come to your office, and for up to 20 people, is going to put out a menu of Christopher's items for you for lunch. Now, if that doesn't make you queen or king of the entire building, then nothing else ever will.
Tell me this is not amazing. Employee retention. That's what this is called.
Seriously.
Because you've done something. And what they're going to do, you're going to go ahead and make a mention here. Am I correct? Mm-hmm. And this is from, on this giveaway, it's from Draper to Clearfield in that area. And west, too. Mm-hmm. So if
about 10-mile radius of Salt Lake City.
So if you want to do that, because the food will get cold. Okay.
You don't want the food to get cold.
No. So what do they do?
Here's the deal. You're on the show today. I'm going to give this a 24-hour space of time. So that will be from 12 noon on Monday, 4:30, to 12 noon on Tuesday, which will be the 1st of May. Just drop a comment saying, I'd love to bring lunch to my office. I would love to win the office lunch. I love Christopher's. Anything like that, just so you know that this is a catered lunch for your office. This is pretty incredible.
I'd like to bathe in the Yazoo.
A catered lunch for up to 20 people. And we're giving it today because Melissa was like, just give it away.
You're so nice.
It'll be good.
If you haven't lived there, I mean, I would like to
I
live
would like
there.
to live there.
All right, so do
So
that.
isn't that the most amazing thing ever? So anyway, so make sure you mention it. It can be on the Get Part Daily, Get Part Approved, or on the Todd and Erin Facebook pages. Just make a mention, and you're automatically entered to win it. We'll draw tomorrow at noon.
Coming up next, sushi video part 2. Will it work? I don't know. I do. You
It's
don't.
Sushi-EAZY.
It's coming.
Say
up.
it right.
It's coming up after this.
We're brought to you by Fink and McGregor. Mortgages made simple. Just head to fink-mcgregor.com. Take 4 minutes to answer some questions, and you'll get a great idea about mortgages that you're eligible for. And by Stay Fit Wellness Clinic. Go get a personalized health analysis. This is the time to get back in shape, feel better, feel younger, and without a ton of new medications at stayfitwellnessclinic.com.
Well, for this part of the valley, it is
yeah.
up north and by the university. Forget
Yeah.
it. So I noticed this. And if you think about it, you'll remember this. Our son goes to East High, and going up to the doors at East High, there's a concentration of gum on the ground because people are like, I'm not chewing in school, and it lands
guess that's
everywhere.
good.
And then you step in it, and then you got gum on your shoe. And they try to help this, and evidently this is like really a huge problem in Amsterdam. Now, the Amsterdam company got together and they said, what can we do about this
This irritating gum chewing problem.
And one guy, evidently drinking, he said, what if we make the soles of shoes out of gum?
You know, the texture is relatively similar, right?
And it also picks up itself.
Gumshoe. Oh my gosh, that is so excellent. I want it.
So they really think it takes about 2.2 pounds of already been chewed gum for every 4 pair of gum shoes. Wow. 3.3 million pounds of used gum on the streets of the Dutch city.
That's amazing to me.
You want to order some? They're $232 a pair.
I don't care. They're cool. I do it on principle because they're like saving.
If the shoes show up from
environment.
Amsterdam that we paid $232 for, no. They're going back to Gumville.
But they're cool.
They're not that cool.
Yeah, they are. They're saving the world.
National park spending.
Whatever.
So, the around the world, you think of the China Wall. You think of South America, the big bookies. What are they called?
My Inca?
Yeah, Incas thing. And all these different places.
Machu Picchu?
That too.
Okay. Would you be meaning the Great Wall of China when you were talking about that?
What did I say?
The China Wall.
Mexico paid for it. Did you know that? It's true. They did.
Go on.
All right. So anyway, Salt Lake.
You're so immature.
I am. Salt Lake City. It's part of my charm. Salt Lake City. Where do you think they ranked? I mean, let's just say the United States, but I think this is bigger than that. The United States on people going to the parks and monuments,
National parks.
and dropping money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, on hotels and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Number 1 is California.
Not surprising.
Not surprising.
given.
$1.9 billion,
Holy
by the way.
crap, nice.
Followed by Alaska. Alaska would be because
Really?
transportation getting there.
Everything's so expensive. That's
Everything
true.
is expensive there, and the food and stuff.
It's beautiful. We went to Juneau for our honeymoon. It's an amazing place. But
North
yeah, very
Carolina.
expensive.
North Carolina.
North Carolina?
Evidently, they got something going there. And Utah tied with Arizona at $1.1 billion.
Get out. We were in the top 4, technically.
I know. Which is pretty cool. I mean,
Nice.
you figure what we're up against, right? We're up
Wow.
against craziness. But, yeah.
That's
But
really cool.
We also have an edge, though, because we also have 5 national parks and 7 or 11, 7,
I think it's 11.
11 state parks.
Yeah.
And a bunch of monuments.
And we're super duper use our stuff.
17,586 jobs.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
You know, it was funny because they were actually to the point where they were, the legislature was going, they were meeting with the Board of Tourism and going, maybe we shouldn't be talking up the national park so much because we have the highest in-state usage of national parks of anywhere in the country.
Right.
And so essentially they were saying, you know, we're full to the gills just from our own people. Maybe we don't need to be promoting out of state so much.
It's like the top.
But you kind of always have to.
It's the top three that Zions and stuff is getting kind of loved to death and stuff. But they keep talking about the fact that they all need like upgrades on their toilets and bathrooms and all these different things. $1.1 billion.
Seems like that should be popping in a little bit of help.
Little payback there.
Right?
Yeah, so one of the big moves they're making now is highlighting the other parks. The ones that aren't so readily don't come to mind right away.
Like Cedar Breaks, nobody goes there, and that is heart-stopping. Right? Wouldn't you hate to be like the secondary national park? Hey, that one's not so bad.
Right?
You know, how do they promote you as the secondary national park? This one's not as great, but it's pretty decent.
We're going to Yuba.
I know, Yuba Lake. Never been there.
Never been there.
Kind of excited.
We're excited.
It's going to be fun.
If you
That's not a national park, though.
It's still Yuba. It's water. It's sand. If you've been there, drop a note on Facebook.
Yeah, we'll know if it's good or not.
All right,
cool.
so I hope Dave, who gave me this gift, and his wife and their lovely daughter, gave me a challenge about making sushi. This is part one. Part two. The part one is early in the show. And so the dramatic conclusion of Sushi-EAZY. Here we go.
Now it's time to stuff. Now here, of course, is the fake crab. So we're going to lay that in. We're going to put some more over here. Not too much. It warned me about that. Because a little bit of this crab goes a long way, my friends. All right. I'm going to put that there. Thanks to the Sushi-EAZY, it is now time to put it on the nori. Nori, seaweed, natural, gift from the oceans, got vitamins, and once again, gluten-free. All right. So all I have to do now is simply, hang on. Stay with me, folks. Oh, man. All right, hang on. I'll move that out of the way first. Evidently, this came undone. This isn't a total loss yet, folks. See, look at that, huh? Look at that. Now I just have to get this top back on. And I don't, okay, all right, perfect. Look at that. Okay, all right. Now, bring this back into the picture. I'm going to turn it this way. Right now, what I'm going to do is extrude some incredible sushi on the nori. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Maybe a little more. Hang on. There will be extruding here. Oh, look at that. Huh? Like a professional. Do you feel uncomfortable right now? You should. All right, now, I'm supposed to roll this up. I'm going to move that log of goodness right there. I'm going to put it right there. So now I'm supposed to roll it up gracefully. There. Okay, let me read the instructions. It says, oh, okay, hang on one second. Hang on one second. Wait. I got this. Okay. You're supposed to wet the edge of this. Like it's a big joint. So I've read. Yeah. Okay, so that's what makes it stick. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you. Oh wait, I gotta make it fancy. Well, there you go. Sushi-EAZY comes through again. That's right. As a matter of fact, if you have a food challenge you want to give me, just contact me on Facebook. Let me know. On the list so far, I've also got cow tongue. But if there's something you want me to try, go ahead and drop a note on Facebook. And you know what? Sushi-EAZY lives up to its name. We'll see you next time.
How do you feel? You feel pretty good about yourself?
I felt it was a fail. You know, I don't want to.
It was a little.
I don't want to blame Sushi-EAZY. Because
Poor Doug.
So what I did was this is what I did, and so I went and made another one, and I compressed the rice more. It was perfect. So they do work.
Thank you, Doug. That was very nice of you to give that to us.
Now, like the gift of the Magi, I'm going to give it to someone else.
You love extruded food.
Just let it pass around the world as a gift that keeps giving. Thank you, Doug.
Okay.
All right. I thought this was really nice. The hero at the Waffle House, where the shooting was.
Oh man, that was brutal.
Yeah, in Tennessee. There's a lot of ways this could have gone, and I'm talking after the fact. And this gentleman who got slightly shot. There's nothing slight about being shot. And ouch.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of
his
things.
Expression, though, he's adorable.
There's a lot of ways this could have gone, you know, and with him, and you know, he said I'm not a hero and things like that, and that could be it. That could be it. It could stop right there.
He was an incredible hero.
But he did something interesting. He started a GoFundMe page for the other people.
Not for himself or his medical costs,
And the victims.
but for the other people.
Right. Raised over $98,000 in 24 hours.
I think that's amazing.
There's another gentleman, Yasser Ali, was moved by the story, knowing that he had like a 4-year-old daughter, right? So school fund, $60,000 in 12 hours.
Amazing! Oh my gosh!
So worked out. I like the way he did that.
Just the nobility of him. Number one, saving everybody and refusing to take credit. He goes, "I saved myself." True.
He kept thinking of his daughter.
But but you still saved everyone. And instead of like worrying about his own costs or his own care, he immediately started a fund trying to help everybody else. This guy's an amazing person.
It is. All right. So coming up next, a Hollywood connection. Ryan Reynolds.
Deadpool's coming up in just a couple of weeks.
He's so
Deadpool
funny.
2,
Right.
and he congratulates the stars of Avengers Infinity Wars in his own special Ryan Reynolds-esque way.
Coming up next.
We're brought to you by Stay Fit Wellness Clinic. If you're tired of feeling sick and tired, it's time to make an appointment with Dr. Bowden for a new holistic health plan to make you feel better, lose weight, sleep well at stayfitwellnessclinic.com. And by Magic Wash with 2 locations in South Ogden and Layton. Come in for the ceramic car wash that keeps your car cleaner longer by sheeting all the dirt and the water off your nice shiny finish.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for watching the Todd and Erin Noon. I don't know what it's called.
Nooner or daily stream. I think we should just go with one or the other. It was brought to you by Connect Heating and Air. By the way, this is a great time to go to UtahHeatingandCooling.com. They have a $39 air conditioning special. I know it's not easy to believe that today, but it's going to be like, it was almost 90 this last week, and this is the time to make sure that your air conditioner is actually going to work and not suck and cost you hundreds of dollars extra in energy bills over the summer.
We should point out the fact that if you're watching this on demand, this is April 30th.
Okay, this is true.
The snow, if you're watching in August. Ugh.
All right, I absolutely love this. Okay, Ryan Reynolds put up this great picture over the weekend, and he was congratulating the Avengers, and he essentially says in the meeting, in the message, from a guy who never knows when to quit, I'm glad you guys never did. Congrats. Now here's the funny thing. Now the letter here, if you look at it, it says Stark Industries at the top.
Right.
And then it says, regarding joining the Avengers, no. Absolutely not.
It's a rejection letter.
Go bother Professor Xavier. Love, Tony Stark. So it's a rejection to Deadpool from the Avengers.
Oh, that's so funny.
I love Ryan Reynolds.
Gosh, he's so
and I
funny.
think those are Tums, aren't they?
They're
like
something,
antacids.
or something else. So we can get over the pain.
Oh, God, that was so funny.
All right.
Ryan Reynolds is evil genius.
He
really
is. Him and his wife are hilarious.
Aren't they cute? How they get at each other. It's really cute.
All right, we have some global headlines, and they're being brought to you by the New Millennium. This is a group that will take care of your financial future, and if you don't think you have one, they can make one for you. Also, by Stay Fit. If you're looking for a total body plan and not just like one thing here and eat cabbage and that's it, these are the people who can put you all back together again. And Fake and McGregor, looking for a mortgage, want to live in the country, want to live in the city. They have the mortgage products that you could be looking for right now. All right, let's get some headlines.
All right, here's what's making news in the U.S. and around the world today. That's April 30th on GetPartDaily.com. Okay, remember the caravan of migrants from Central America? Well, it has now made it to America's southern border with Mexico. The migrants are in Tijuana, Mexico, right outside the San Isidro port of entry in San Diego. Now, about 50 migrants were admitted to the Immigration Processing Center on the Mexico side of the border, while dozens of others spent the night camping outside, including several small babies. Now, the migrants who say they're fleeing violence and poverty in their home countries are seeking asylum in the U.S., something that is their right under international law. At least 29 people were killed in Afghanistan's capital Monday in twin bombing attacks by the Islamic State terror group. This is according to officials there. The first explosion happened in Kabul near the U.S. Embassy, and the second blast came when an attacker, posing as a cameraman, detonated explosives, killing at least 8 journalists. The Islamic State later took credit for the attack. The U.S. Embassy in Afghanistan condemned Monday's bombings as savage. And that on-again, off-again merger talk between T-Mobile and Sprint is back on. If the third and fourth largest wireless service providers do manage to get together, it's going to leave the U.S. with just 3 wireless carriers, including Verizon and AT&T. Now, the merged company, which would take the T-Mobile name, wants to create a nationwide 5G network. The merger still has to get the okay from the government before the deal can go through. Time now for a look at Wasatch Front weather, brought to you by Brio Technologies, Utah's #1 audio-visual specialists, and by Magic Wash, home of the long-lasting ceramic car wash with an outlet in South Ogden and brand new state-of-the-art facility on Antelope Drive in Layton. And after a week of splendid spring weather, we're now getting another taste of winter. Rain and snow are forecast for today with high temperatures in the 50s, cool and cloudy Tuesday. Highs barely struggling into the 60s, and then another storm moving in on Wednesday. It's going to bring colder temps along with some rain and snow, but ideally we should see a return to spring heading into the weekend. For more news from across the nation and around the world 24/7, check out GetPartDaily.com. That was kind of nice to do news again. I haven't done news for a while.
I know. Look at you, all professional and stuff.
Well, you're using that phrase kind of loosely, but that's
Fink
okay.
and McGregor. I mean, I got to tell you, we were talking to Jeff Stout, and I said, well, you say you have all these different mortgages. We all know like one mortgage, right? Like what's it called?
Fannie Mae.
Fannie Mae or something like
Go
that.
Fannie Mae, okay.
It's like, oh, there's one more. No, there's like a dozen or more. And
Zillion.
I keep using this example, but I think it's hilarious. It's the USDA mortgage. And I'm going, what? That's what they stamp on my roast, on my food. And he goes, well, they have a mortgage system that if you want to live in a rural area,
Agriculturally based, yeah.
they have a mortgage for you. So anyway, go to finkmcgregor.com, do the little 4-minute quiz. They'll call you back the next business day, and there you go.
Fink-mcgregor.com.
Best place to find a job.
Mm-hmm. Would that be nationwide?
Yes, it would.
Where do we fit into that?
One would want to know, wouldn't they?
One would.
All right, so if you're thinking about getting a job, okay, first of all, the sad news.
There's sad news? Oh, no.
The loser.
You're going to say the sad ones, aren't you? Why is it always them?
I don't know.
New Orleans, Louisiana. This is the bottom. Birmingham, Alabama. Columbus, Georgia. Newark, New Jersey. Huh. Detroit, Michigan. Shreveport, Louisiana. Kind of saw those coming a little bit.
You know, speaking of Detroit, I just want to say this because I heard it yesterday. You know that Ford is discontinuing like 6 models? And they're going to still sell them overseas, but they're not going to make it here because most people want like a crossover or an SUV.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they decided to pull out of
like
the game.
old school sedans and stuff.
They're going to pull out of the game, and they're going to stay making those
wow.
only. So anyway,
we've got to get new industries into Detroit. They deserve better than that. They really do.
Where does Utah stand?
Yes, tell
Number
us.
1, Chandler, Arizona.
No, look at that. The top 6, they're almost all Arizona.
Scottsdale, San Francisco, California.
Really?
Try to live there. Little expensive. Arizona, Texas. Portland, Maine.
Really?
Thank ya. And we are number 18.
Not bad. I can live with
Just
that.
below Seattle and Tampa.
Arizona's nuts. Who knew?
I know. Don't they know it's hot there?
And once again, down at the bottom, Louisiana, Mississippi.
I remember I was visiting in Arizona, and I'm listening to the DJs, in the morning because it was kind of fun to listen to somebody else, and it was Memorial Day, and they were like, "All right, it's Memorial Day, time to go inside." They literally said that.
I lived in Phoenix and Tucson. That's what we did.
And so everyone goes and hides, I guess. And I would hate that.
I don't think I could run until like 11 o'clock at night, because otherwise you would literally, your legs would dissolve. And this is the only place I've seen where they put cooling units in the pools instead of heaters.
It reminds me of the scene when Vince Diesel is playing that guy in outer space and the sun's coming up and they're all running.
Oh yeah, Riddick.
Riddick, and they're
you might
running.
want to move faster. Move faster. Must go faster.
Sun's coming up. Yeah.
I know, that's pretty sad. All right.
Okay.
Coming up in a couple of minutes.
Oh, this is so cool. So cool. There's a project going on with the Utah Forest Service. And if you love animals the way I do, and camping is coming up, it's something to think about. We'll tell you what it is coming up next.
We're brought to you by Connect Heating and Air. Go to UtahHeatingandCooling.com for their $39 air conditioner tune-up special. Some care now could make the difference in hundreds of dollars of energy bills this summer. And by New Millennium Financial Group. Take your feeble financial health back to a more robust position with a consult with New Millennium Financial Group. They're offering a complimentary financial analysis to get you started at utahsfinancialplanner.com.
All right, so we were talking earlier about the outdoors, about parks and stuff, and how we were rated number 4, tied for 4th, and the people coming out and our huge usage of our recreational areas. Well, just to keep up with a national threat is going on, and they have
There's a national threat?
And the U.S. Forest Service is now stepping in with some money on the Uinta Wasatch Cache and Dixie National Forest.
Tell me.
Operation Poo Poo. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, Operation Poo Poo Project. See?
That is so dumb. Tell me.
No.
Well, she looks very nice, though.
She does.
What's she doing with the DeWalt? And good for you, sister. You look great.
Nicely naming the brand, my love. Basically, they have a problem with cavity nesting birds. So you're saying, oh, what kind of cavity are we talking about?
Are we nesting?
The outhouses. And
because you have like ventilation pipes and stuff like that, right?
They have things. It's called a vault, and that's where the waste goes. And from that, to make it less stinky, they put a big, like 6 or 4 inch tube up the back and get it up high off the ground overhead. It's like a chimney for ew, and that's what they do, because
it's a chimney for ew.
Swifts and swallows and owls, they found, are all underneath there, and they are nesting and then using that pipe. They're never going to mate smelling like that.
No,
seriously.
You're not getting a date. I don't care how nice your plumage is.
So
you're out of luck,
they purchased 100 screens, and they're doing it, and they've got the project going on. And so all they basically have to do is go up and put a screen on it, because the birds are going down.
That's pretty simple.
If you can't find a cave. Now, here's the problem.
Okay.
And maybe I should call them. Because if you have cavity nesting birds, okay, and let's say that the bird, you go in and the door shuts behind you, kind of what was that? And they can't find the pipe that goes up, and then you sit down. Is that an issue?
I'm constantly terrified of going to the porta potty in national parks now, as it is, and I always have nightmare visions of what could be down there. And now you just had to put that into my head.
You know what's down there? Cavity nesting birds.
You really had. Okay, have you seen the talons on an owl? Even the little adorable burrowing ones?
Yeah.
Did you really have to share that information with me? Knowing how I am now anyway, you really had to do that to me.
Maybe you should perch. Cavity nesting birds.
You are so stupid.
I know.
Did you really just say perch and make a joke out of it?
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of women would perch in there, right?
We call it hovering. We hover, honey. We hover.
Like a butterfly. No, like a hummingbird. All right. Tell me
I'm
about...
going to take my scarf off and I'm going to strangle you with it as soon as the cameras are off.
I'm not the one who ruined a movie for millions of people. All right.
I did it!
Let's talk about the wonderful
Please read
fruit.
the warnings before you watch the show, all right?
It's too late.
Durian.
Durian.
And they call
Durian fruit.
It started as a durian fruit. Now they just simply call it a rotten durian because there's no way around it.
Gym socks.
This is hysterical.
It smells like gym socks.
Melbourne's Metropolitan Fire Brigade said crews were called to the university in the city's central business district last Saturday. They said there is a gas leak. Everyone's freaking out, so they evacuated 500 students and teachers by the Victoria Police. Everyone's freaking out. You know, the smell. Then they're going, crap, it's also in this building where we store dangerous chemicals.
That's right.
Then they're thinking, oh my God, is there some kind of chemical reaction? What is going on?
No.
They found a durian that had been left rotting in a cupboard. Now, if you've ever heard of a durian,
let me explain it.
It is banned literally from anywhere in public, transport, hotel rooms, anywhere other people are in Australia.
So basically what you do is you cut it in half. There are large seed pods in there, and you take a spoon and you scoop them out. And evidently, if you can get it past your nose and into your face, it's delicious. You'll never have sex again.
I don't understand how that can be because the
delicious.
smell is part of your taste buds. I mean...
I watch Anthony Bourdain, and I watch...
Did he actually taste it?
He loves it. Andrew Zimmer on Bizarre Foods. I don't think I remember him eating it before. But it's funktastic.
This was awesome. The Environmental Protection Authority actually had to come in and oversee the removal
of
the
said
durian fruit.
It was rotten, though, so that's not even fair.
That's even worse. But they actually they said that they actually encased it in the same protective casing they use for bomb disposal.
Hazmat suits.
That's awesome.
Oh, just a stupid fact. Andrew Zimmer on Bizarre Foods. What's the one food he can't eat?
I give up.
Walnuts.
Walnuts are delicious.
Not to him. This guy eats the slime out of armpits of lizards.
Yeah, and he talks about...
Puts it on toast.
He uses the phrase fecal a lot.
No, it's called barnyard.
Well, he used fecal in the one you made me watch.
It's chitlins and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
All right. The police...
Love this.
Oh, yeah, this is a funny one.
Okay, it's like, you know, sometimes a felon can make it almost too easy for you. Almost too easy. Police in Oregon had a suspect leading police on a chase while riding a stolen motorcycle with the vanity license plate reading ex-felon. Brock Williams was recognized Wednesday by an officer in the parking lot of a grocery store.
Right.
And he determined that Williams, who was a convicted felon, had a warrant out for his arrest on a parole violation.
Right.
So he approached Williams saying, dude, you're violating parole. Well, Williams sped off on a Ducati motorcycle he'd stolen while the officer had to be waited to be joined by a patrol officer.
Right.
So they were following him and making note of the ex-felon license plate, which bore expired North Dakota tags.
Right.
During the pursuit, Williams fled at speeds between 85 and 100 miles per hour down side streets. Nice guy. Until he reached a dead end and had to get off the vehicle.
They call that bailing.
Now, I find this adorable, by the way, because they then arrested him, who claimed, and he stood on the other side of the street from the stolen motorcycle and said, oh, I wasn't riding that motorcycle.
No.
I was just walking here. You must have noticed somebody else.
Ex-felon.
Are you really so simple-minded
ex-felon.
that you actually tried to distance yourself from the stolen motorcycle with the ex-felon license plate and assume they wouldn't have known?
There's a name, ex-felon. There's a name for the walk when police cars are coming up on you and just kind of cruising and looking around at people. And it's that head down, quick shuffle. And
nothing to see here, move along, nothing to see here, nothing
the
to
guilty
see here.
man walking. Just little too fast. So anyway, thank you very much for watching today. We're going to Yuba.
good Lord.
We're going to Yuba
I'm so
this
excited.
weekend. Mike, who's running the booth here, does his thing. Got to go down to Moab.
He's much better traveled than we are.
And everyone is, hon.
I know.
And he was down there for the long weekend, and he's quite the photographer as well. And we're going to leave you some of his images.
So essentially, he's slumming with us, is what you're telling me.
Extremely so, yeah.
Sorry, Mike.
Enjoy. We'll see you tomorrow.